Hello guys, welcome to the YouTube channel, and today we'll be looking at how to perform the free run analysis in Hypermesh software. So why there is even a need to perform the free run analysis in the first place? Because the free run analysis is used to find out the discontinuity in any object. Now why there is a discontinuity produced in the first place? Because the CAD software and CAE software, they both work on a different platform. So whenever you import a CAD file in a CAE software, during the transformation some data may get lost. The typical example that I can give you is in a CAD file or in a CAD software you have defined that both these lines are coincident or connected to each other at this point. Now while transferring that CAD file from CAD software to CAE software, this information that this is a join may get lost. So in order to see that or in order to check that our whole geometry is in the right condition, we perform free-run analysis. So let's get started and see how free-run analysis is performed. First thing first, define the material. Let's say steel as isotropic, card image as mat1, create edit, and we'll be using default value. Now let's define the hyperbeam, that is the cross section area. Go to standard section and select thin wall tube hyperbeam, and now here you have to define the outer diameter and inner diameter of our cross section area of the tube. So inner radius let's say 10 and outer radius let's say 12, and then you go to here model view to escape from this. Now that we have defined the material and cross section area, let's define the property and assign that property to our component and then mesh it. So let's first give the property. You can name it as line, select the type as 1D and card image as P beam, material as steel that we have just created, and beam section as tube section 1 that we have just created. Create. Now let's update our component with the new property. For that, go to component section and then select the component as IVI, select, and then card image, don't use any card image, property, toggle it to property, and then property as that we have just created line, and then update. Now our component is now assigned with new properties and element, new properties and material. Now let's mesh this, and then we will provide the boundary condition. For that, go to 1D panel and line mesh, select element configuration as bar 2 and property as that we have just created line, and element size give it as 50 and line as displayed. You can manually select it also using shift and right click. So mesh. So you can see the software has done meshing our part. Now in order for you to see how it is meshed, you can go here and select the 1D traditional and detail element representation. So this is how the component look like after meshing. Now let's define the boundary conditions. Now nothing out of the ordinary up to this point. From this point onward, we are going to see some new stuff. First thing first, we don't need to constrain our object while performing free run. Let me tell you why. First, let's get started with EIGRL card image. Now what is EIGRL card image? EIGRL card image is nothing going to extract the natural frequency out of our geometry, and what we are going to do is we are going to impart some frequency on our geometry and see if that imparted frequency is going to resonate with the natural frequency, and if it is resonate with the natural frequency, it is going to change its shape by a huge amount. So if you don't understand that, uh, there is no problem, we will try to go deep into it. in some other lecture. Make sure you comment about it. So let's get started. So let's define the load collector first. Give the name as EIGRL and choose the card image as EIGRL. Go to create edit. Now here we are the frequency that we are about that we are talking about. Here we have to define that frequency. V1 as the initial frequency, so initial will be 0. V2 as the final, so it will be 1000, and ND means how many mode shape do you want. So in between the range of 0 to 1000, how many natural mode shape, that is natural frequency, do you want. So let's say 12. You can say 10, 20, any number you want, but the software is going to calculate only if there is any, such that if there is natural frequency 10 between the range this and 0 to 1000, so it is only going to calculate 10, even though I have written here 12, but the software is only going to calculate 10 because there are only 10 natural frequency that matches within this range. Okay, so go to return. Now let's define the load step. Now here select the type as normal modes, give the name as normal, and select method struct as EIGRL. You just need to give the EIGRL card image. We don't need SPC or any other, just EIGRL card image. We just need to find the natural frequency. Okay, go to create, and now let's save the file and then solve the file. OptiStruct. So the solver has done solving our part. Now let's see the results. And here you can see there is frequency. We have asked the software to give us 12 frequency, and software has given us 12 frequency. So let's see the results and see if our geometry is broken from somewhere or discontinuous from somewhere. Now let's change the orientation first. Okay, and apply. Now you cannot see here. In order for you to see the discontinuity, you must turn on the animation mode. So here is the animation which you are seeing is very less. It's barely moving. So let's increase the magnitude of deformation. Go to deform and select here, let's say 10. Apply. So you can see the deform means that body is displacing by a huge amount now. So we can now actually see if our body is discontinuous from somewhere. To check out the red color portion, it's not discontinuous. I cannot see any discontinuity here. Now let's move to different frequency number 2. Here also I cannot see any discontinuity. Go to frequency number 3, same with the case. Go to frequency number 4, no, not an issue. Frequency number 5, still no any issue. 6 also looks good. Change the orientation a bit to see more clearly. No, there is not any issue present. Now here comes the issue. You can see the red color portion, it's not continuous at all. I mean, it's not connected at all. You can see this part should be connected, but it's going somewhere else, means there is discontinuity present here. Now let's repair this discontinuity. First of all, let's check if there is any other discontinuity present. It's the same. 9, it's still the same. 10, still the same. 11th, still the same. No, we haven't got any other. 12th, okay, it's not showing here. So discontinuity lies somewhere here. Here comes the discontinuity. So now let's repair this, and then we'll come back to software to see if the discontinuity is still there. So we came back to the HyperMesh software. Now uh, in order to recreate the mesh around here, we have to first create the temporary nodes, and then we will create temporary element, and then we will again solve the geometry to see if the element or if the geometry has been referred or not. So go to temporary nodes, and from it was from here that geometry was discontinuous. Select this, press the shift key and left mouse button. Okay, and again go here, select shift, left mouse button. Okay, and click add. The software has created temporary elements, and now go to delete panel, select element, and now select these three elements. Delete entity. So again here are two nodes, so let us go back. Two nodes are present there. Go to temporary nodes again. So if you want to undo, just press Ctrl Z. Now again do the same process. Select three nodes, same with here. So this node is extra, so just right click it, it is going to be deleted. Same here, right click. So now we have four nodes on each side. Click add. Now return. Now go to delete panel. Now delete this. Same here. Delete entity. So now we have to create element here using this node point. Now for that, go to 1D and go to bar panel. Select node A and node B. First select the property, element type as C-beam, orientation as Z-axis. Node A, select the node A as this, node B as this. See, the software has created elements between the two nodes. Again do the same here and here also. Same on the other side. Okay, so the elements has been created. Now delete the temporary node that we have created. It's of no use right of us to now. Go to temporary nodes and clear all. Yeah, so it has vanished each and every node that is present. So go to return, and then now again save the file and solve the file, and let's see if we get the result we are expecting. Analysis of destruct. So the solver has done solving our part. Now let's see the result and see if our geometry is actually repaired or not. First of all, change the orientation. Now eigenvalue as apply. Now let's see the animation. Let's change the magnitude of it by 10. Okay, so in the previous case we have find a discontinuity in 7th mode shape. Now let's directly jump to the 7th mode shape to see. Yeah, so the CAD file is finally repaired. It is no longer discontinuous from here, it is all connected. Now let's see for the 8th. No, it's good. 9th. You only need to see the red color portion because it is subjected to the most displacement. and let's see 10 all connected. Let's see 11, yeah, it is also connected. Let's see 12, yeah. So we are done with our analysis. Make sure you perform this and practice this, and it is a good practice to do it before each and every analysis just you perform on iPhone so if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, if you find any query, make sure you comment it, and we'll see you in another video. Thank you so much for watching.